Hello students, today's agenda is to check homework. You'll be finding the slope and you will be able to do page 14. Today students will be able to find the slope given a graph. So now you're going to find the rise and run in a graph. So if you recall, the slope is equals to the change on y over the change on x. Meaning rise over run, and basically what we're going to be doing is counting up or down, counting to the left or to the right. Okay, so that's the main thing today, just looking at the graph and counting points. So how does that look? Well, here you have this graph, and let me zoom a little bit. And so the first thing that I want you to find is any 2 points on the line. And I'm gonna make it a little tricky because sometimes you're gonna have to simplify. So let's say that I choose maybe this point right here, and I choose this point. They have to be in the corners. Okay, so basically I cannot choose this one because it's not in the middle of, kind of like a cross. It would have to be here. Okay, like a T, letter T, in the middle of letter T. This one is in the middle of letter T, more or less. And what you're gonna do to find the slope is very simple. I don't want to make it complex for you, but basically is you have to see how many you rise. So from here to here you count 1, 2, 3, 4. You put it in here, and then 1, 2, you put it in here. And then you are gonna, whenever it's bigger on the numerator, you just divide. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Okay, so my slope equals 2. And for other people, again, it can be different for different people. Maybe other people say, oh, this one and this one. So you count 1, 2, 1. So 2 over 1. And 2 divided by 1 equals 1. Other people might choose this point, and they might be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So 6 divided by 3 is still 2. Okay, so it all depends on which 2 points you get at the end. When you simplify or divide, you will still get the same answer. Okay, let's look at another graph. And so you have this one right here. Later on, you're going to be learning to write the equation once you go into IM. But for now, in the modules, sometimes if the point goes exactly out across in here, you can just choose that point. And maybe, let's see, this one is not it. Where can I find one where it's exactly in the corner of a T? So right there. And so I start counting. I count to get there, from here to there. Remember that you always travel first on Y and then on X. Okay, first up and down, up and down, and then left or right. So since we're here, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So 3 over 2. One thing though, what direction did you go in? Since you're going down, the 3 is going to be negative, and to the right is positive because you go to the right. Okay. So now that you see that it's 1 negative and 1 positive, you can say, oh, my slope is negative 3/2. If you leave it like this, that's fine. There's no problem if you leave the negative, but usually you will see it like this in books, where the negative is in the middle of the fraction. Okay. So what if you decided to choose here? Let's say that somebody else, another student, got this point and this point. Again, let me do it on this side. To get here, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's negative because you're going down. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, in this case 6 cannot be divided by 4, but both are divisible by 2. Both can be divided by the number 2. So negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and you can see that you get the same answer. Okay, so it doesn't matter which 2 points you choose, as long as they're right in the middle of a cross or a T, and then you just simplify or divide. Okay, let's do one last example. So basically, again, all you have to do is just count, right? Let's choose one in here. I'm going to choose these 2 points. And again, you can choose this one and this one if you wish, or this one and this one, as long as they're in the corners. And you just count. Remember, slope is always up or down. So to get from here to here, you count up 1, and to the right 1, 2, 3. 1 over 3. Let me see. I wanted to do it. What if I did it backwards? What if I counted from here to here? So I'm going to do it. If you go down, it's going to be negative 1, right? Negative 1. And then to the left is negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. It's over negative 3. When you have negative divided by negative, still going to be positive 1/3. So you're going to get the same answer. It doesn't matter from what point to what point you start, as long as you always start for the numerator up or down, for the denominator left or right. Okay, you cannot switch the order. For the numerator up and down, depending on the sign, and then left or right in here. Okay, very, very careful with that. What if for the previous one, we already did this, I know, but what if I decide, instead of going down and to the right, what if I decide to go from this point and decide to go right here? Okay, so I'm gonna say, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 up, positive 3, and then 1, 2 to the left, so it's negative 2. This is exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter if the negative is in the middle, on top, or at the bottom. It's gonna be the same answer for all 3 of them, okay? As long as you have only one negative. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of come back to that. It doesn't matter if you go from this point to this point or this point to this point, as long as you always go first up or down. And then this, for the denominator, left or right, okay? So now you can do page 11.14 and have fun.